Yeah, it's about a couple that have recently been separated who have a child, a young girl of about 12, and my character goes to live in Wales to sort of start a new life, really, and he's an artist and he just wants to have some space and time for himself, and Maria's character wants to fly over to see me, and we meet in the cottage, and there's a bit of a kind of reunion in some way, and then there's an awful tragedy, which happens quite early on in the film, and it's how we deal with that, and it's, I don't know how much to say before I give the plot away, really, but there's something bad happens, and it's got that general feeling around it, the film, the theme of sort of evil and darkness, and it's a film, I think it's great, it's really quite chilling, it's very haunted, a lot of ghosts and weird things happening with sheep. It's more imagination, it's more what you don't see and what you can imagine, what you imagine to believe it could be. It's quite odd, it's quite bizarre, it's quite a very strange story, and that's why I liked it. I thought there's so much potential in it, and the dialogue was really good, and it comes to life off the page. And it was just unusual. It was just an unusual film to do. Strange situation, some characters that are really well drawn and very, very profound. But there is something very haunting about it, very strange, very chilling. And people just aren't quite right in this place. I think it's probably just the way it's worked out, really. It's nice to sort of do something different each time. I've been fortunate. I've been playing different characters and quite diverse characters and everything for the last couple of years, and this was always something that I really enjoyed when I first read it, because I thought it was really scary, and I started reading it about 6 o'clock at night, and I was sort of reading it, and it got towards the end, and I had to go to bed, and I was going to read it in bed, but I thought, I daren't read it, so I thought, I'm going to read the next bit tomorrow morning, because it was getting really scary at one point, it was getting really weird. I thought, I don't want to go to sleep with all those images in my head, but no, it's a good character, a good part, and a really good script, and great people working together. Maria's fantastic to work with. It's so natural with her, and it's nice to play just an ordinary guy, I suppose, rather than a villain. And, I like villains, I like playing them, but it's nice to have a break from that. Well, he's a very sort of free-spirited sort of guy. He's a sculptor. He's interested in very artistic. He paints, does a lot of oil painting, and I think he just likes to be on his own in the sort of wilderness and the countryside. With just the elements around him, and sort of it draws from that, really. So he's quite. When they arrive, he's quite settled. He's getting on all right, and she comes back and starts it all off again. I think at first, James feels she's gone mad, because we're both obviously it's been a very traumatic time, and we're very in shock, at what's just happened. But James is trying to keep a grip on it, and whereas she is seeing all sorts of things, seeing visions and discovering sort of ledgers with how many sheep were killed in one day, and what happened to how many was drilled and the badness came out, and it's all noted. So she's finding all this information and she's trying to piece it together. And I'm just coming in from every day trying to find our daughter, trying to find her on the boat, trying to find a body. And she's just coming, and she's just going mad. I'm just saying, look, just calm down. But there is a lot to what she's saying. At first I can't quite believe it, and I'm very doubtful, but when we see Ebrith, which is the girl from the past, that's quite a good moment, because I think with a lot of films, from someone like Maria's point of view, the audience see the ghost as she's seeing it, and then someone else comes in and she says, look, it's there, and there's nothing there. But this time it's quite good, because I come in and I see him, as well, and it really sort of ups it up a gear. These two girls that we've got are fantastic, and they're both great in their own ways. But the girl who's playing Ebrith is a sort of throwback from many years ago, and she's she's got that very old-fashioned quality. You know, she seems like she's from the past. It's good. It's a real experience for me because I just love watching the way he works. It's almost as though you can see his mind working, and he's planning the shots. I suppose it would be quite interesting if you wanted to be a director, just to watch him, because I think you can learn a lot from him. He's very clear about what he wants, and you know, you can really see the wheels turning, and he's putting this thing together, and you sort of know exactly what he wants. He's really good, you know. It's not very often that we sort of seem to be on the right lines, and then he just comes up with a great suggestion, and he changed something around, and it's all been very natural, and it came quite easy for me, this role. I think because we created a really good environment, but it just seems to have sprung off the page and just been great. It plays a big part in the film, you know. I mean, it's the sea, and everybody wants to get to the sea and go through the doorways and these. Yeah, and the elements do play a great part. You know, that's why it looks so good. It's the weather when we were on the Isle of Man is quite grim, which is just what John wanted, and it's got a very bleak sort of quality about it. I just enjoyed the last scene with Maria. We were in bed together, so that was. That's why I'm a bit sweaty. But that was good, yeah. That was great, and they've all been good. You know, it's been very meaty. It's been very sort of, you know, something to get your teeth into, this part, and she's so good to work with. She's so I don't know, just so natural, and it just sort of very spontaneous. That almost seems too easy sometimes. It's too real, but it's great. You know, she's fantastic, and I think we really hit it off together. I mean, it's gripping, it's chilling, and it's scary. And it does make you think, because there's a few twists and turns in there, and, you know, hopefully, it's quite bizarre. I don't know what one would think of it, really. I don't know what I'd think of it. When I read it, I was quite sort of fascinated by it, and I reread it, so I mean, maybe people will think it, maybe they'll have memories of it, and things might come back to them, but it is it's a good piece. I think it's something that people can identify with, you know, that sort of loss, that tragic loss, and the paranoia, and the sort of grief and the pain that goes with that. You know, people can either see that, empathise with that.